talent is undeniable. What is it that's getting in your way
To
keep the consistency? Like,
well,
every month, like we see Dro everywhere.
You just had TikTok and it was out of here. Then you just got quiet.
well, people, we forget. Like, I was introduced to drugs like through like peers, and when we introduced to these drugs, we don't have an idea that it could really spaz out.
That there's
You know what I'm
powerful
saying?
as they
It'd be
are.
just one night of fun. Hey, everybody having fun. You gonna pop this perk. You gonna take this ecstasy. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, okay, it's everybody out. It's we having a good time. But like, it becomes a habit. And once it becomes a habit, you get to feeding that monster, and it gets bigger. And the talent becomes secondary because you're mostly into drugs at that point. And you know, I indulged, and you know, by the grace of God, I was able to, you know, make it through and keep myself up, and you know, but actually the business part, it kind of like went left. You know, sometimes I'd be available, sometimes I won't, but when it most counted, I wasn't available.
So you know, everybody in this room got a lot of genuine love for you, like not just talking because we on TV and shit.
Yeah.
Correct.
Where are you at with that now?
I went to the rehab like a year ago.
Okay.
So I've been straight since then.
So you ain't.
I flew to L.A.
You didn't indulge in nothing for a year. You're a year clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how was
Congratulations,
that,
my brother.
like,
Congratulations, man.
yeah, we're happy about that. But like, how was that process like initially for you? Was it hard starting that, or were you able to just kind of like understand this is what I need to do, or was it like an adjustment and like some real shit you had to go through to finally get to the point where like, okay, I have to stick with this so that I can be better for myself and my kids?
Yeah. Both. I think for my health, you know what I mean?
Right.
I was to a point where like I was still dabbling a little bit and wasn't doing exactly what I used to do, and then I saw myself about to go back that route, you know what I mean? Then I was like, well, let me just take this flight. So I bought a ticket to LA, and like I could see the Hollywood sign, like they had us like in dead smack in the middle of Hollywood, and it was a good thing. You know what I mean? I flew out there.
I think that shit be denial. You know what I'm saying? Nigga think they can handle that shit when they own it. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I'm good. Until you have to really hit rock bottom to say you ain't good.
Yeah. That's exactly what it did, because you know my dad he's fighting his addiction also, and
So it's hereditary.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to touch on, because once you look at that family tree, and everybody in my family had an addiction problem. From my grandmama had like 7 kids, 6 of them did it, and like five of them is dead off of it. You know what I mean? Like really was using, and like it's only my mom and my auntie left. So and my dad is in his addiction, and also my daughter has started to use, and she's just like, it's really bad. So I offered to go with my daughter, you know, she's 19, and I offered, but she's so out, you know what I mean, out of it right now. She's indulging it right now, and it's heavy. So I was like, well, for the sake of my kid, you know what I mean, I offered to go with her, but she spazzed out, and so I went on and went so I could be strong for her. You know what I mean? So yeah. So when I went, it was a lot of stuff that I didn't know about addiction, about why it started, you know what I mean, and where it came from, the root, the origin of it, and why was I using the way I was using it. I was just running from something that I had been facing since a child.
Yeah.
Do you think you have a clearer mind now in the studio with your music? Are you happier with your music now without the substances, or what's your thought on that? You keep it real. I mean, like, what's your thought now musically?
It's kind of hard, because when I was getting high, under the influence, I could just fly through 10 songs. You know what I mean? Like, you know, me and Zaytoven is working on this project. It's called Recovery, but you know, the last project we did was Hellcat, and I did it in a day. So when I got out and I was telling them that we was gonna work or whatever, I was like, I'm not the same person that you saw the first time. So I was like, it's gonna take a little while, you know, and just bear with me. You know, it's still the same kind of music, but it takes a minute. You know what I mean? It's actually a better trip. You know what I mean? The journey is better. You know, the studio times are more cleaner. You know, my girl don't got to worry about crazy stuff like getting those calls like what draw piss spazzing. You know, he's smoking all in the studio and he's just bringing all these people in here. So it's a better feeling now.
What type of relationships you feel like got hurt in the process of you going through your, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of relationships. Well, I just wore people out. You know, it was a lot of people fighting for me. Like, you know, when you see how I was turning out, you're like, well, I just can't keep standing up for you, Dro. You know, I'm telling these people you talented. I'm telling you, and then 1 minute you straight, then the next minute you black out. You know what I mean? So I burnt a lot of stuff. I burnt a lot of people out. You know what I mean? As far as Atlantic Records, E1, you know what I mean? Like, they was giving me a lot of chances. And the talent kind of prevailed through, but the person wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you heard those hits and I would disappear, they would give me the benefit of the doubt of putting it out and, you know, giving me advances and stuff. Like, now I would make good money, but I wouldn't be focused, you know what I mean, in order to maintain the stardom that I was receiving.
So, like, now that you're in a better space, some of those relationships that were damaged when you were under the influence, have you had a chance to reach back out to those people and kind of, like, try to make amends about the previous situation?
It ain't time.
No.
You gotta show.
I have to show.
Yeah.
I would love to reach out, but it'll kind of be like boasting. You know what I mean? And so I would rather show them. You know what I mean? And hope that they see, and if they don't, then so be it. You know, I'll just continue my
You'll
journey.
be okay with that because, you know, like, it was a situation that was out of your control.
Yeah.
But you don't hold no resentment because you knew it was all on you.
Yeah, it was all on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that person is not around anymore.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, man.
Look good, King.
Hell yeah.
Man,
Everything.
thank you, guys. Y'all making me blush. I'm dark.
So what's next for Dro? So now that you got a clear mind to clearly see and to clearly think, like, what are your aspirations now, currently, and moving forward?
Self and family right now, because I let a lot of my family members see some stuff that wasn't supposed to be seen. I have a son now, and my daughters, they have gotten older, and it's all about rebuilding what God gave me, and then stepping into, you know, outside of that. You know what I mean? Like, but what God gave me is my family, my daughters, and, you know, my girl, you know, my mom, and, you know, just rebuilding that. And once I'm good with my house, I can go outside.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So what's some of the, like, activities you just do maybe to just keep your mind off the bullshit? Like,
no social media. I haven't been on social media for like at least 6 months.
I know you happy, man.
Yeah.
I be wanting to get off mine.
No form, like, no
Jeez.
anything.
Yeah.
Just, I look at TV and that's it. And
Do you do any activities? Like,
yeah, I work out. I wake up at like 7, 6, take my son to school and go work out. And then that kind of like, I be tired as motherfucker after that. So, and then, you know, and I stay on the road, you know what I mean? And that's just my regimen for right now. You know what I mean? Working out, no social media, in the studio.
Do you travel at all, or like?
Yeah.
Do any vacationing or anything?
You've been to Hawaii and Puerto Rico, and, you know, just with the family, taking them out and letting them get to know the real dad and the real Dewan.
I know music like your first love and your passion, but you ever thought about like going into movies, TV, acting, or whatever?
I always get approached with comedy and, you know, being in movies.
Because you are hilarious. I gotta give it to you. Like, you're funny as hell. Like.
But it was all about the focus. You know what I mean? You know, all these things was, you know, in the making or whatever. But I never was focused to actually sit down and do the work. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't want to jump into bed with, you know, with that and not prepare. So right now, I would like to look forward to doing stuff like that.
So it's a lot of young artists that's probably in the space you was in or gonna go through the similar journey that you did. Like, what would you say to them? Like, if they're partaking in the same substances that you did, or maybe more so?
Therapy, man. I think, somebody to talk to, an outlet, because the black men, we tuck it down, we tuck it in, and we can have a drink or something, or drink this and smoke that, and then, you could go through your problems like that. That's totally a lie, It's some stuff that needs to be brought out of you that you need to be aware of. Some of it is family orientated, and the people and places. Like we are, a person will pass you a blunt or pass you a pill, but they won't tell you that actually this can ruin your family, or, this can actually take you out, bro. You can get the wrong pill and it can kill you. You know what I mean? So I would tell them, like, whatever you're going through, find somebody to talk to, because just like us sitting here talking, this is therapy for me.